Hello, Room Pockets here, back again playing some more EVE Online, doing some more burner missions, episode 4. Thank you so much for sticking with the series, getting lots of really good feedback on it, so I really appreciate it, and glad that everybody's enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun, still learning how to do burners, but now really focusing in on it, and it's really great. So a couple things of note. First off, I do have a mission for us. I did have to fly all the way to Hale to get it from a different agent, because I kind of, in trying to roll one we could do today, tanked Brofer here into the negative. So I'm going to give him a second to cool off. I might run some missions off camera, but I flew over to Hale and picked up a mission. We got a burner mission for the Enyo. We're going to go and take out the Enyo in this team burner mission. That is the Galente Assault Frigate. So we're going to be up against the Enyo and Navitas as the Logi. So awesome, awesome. That should be, if I remember correctly, let's bring up my notes. I did say Nova. We're going to double check it when we land on grid. But before we do that, I want to have a quick chat. There's a couple things that have come up, and I'm kind of thinking my way through on how I want to proceed. So first off, the guide. We've been using the guide, and it's been great. Everything's been working to some extent. I've struggled with the Nurgles, but I think most of that's my fault, not the guides and the Fit's fault. But overall, this works, but some of the information is still kind of outdated, it seems. Like, it's added the Nurgle stuff, but some of the other Fits don't work anymore, or don't seem to, or there's better ways to do it. So I have been looking for other sources, and that brought me back to a channel that I was familiar with, and a guy that I do know, Hateless Gaming. Right now, he does a lot of Twitch streaming, missions and invasions. I was watching him earlier today doing triple boxing invasions. I think it was two Vargers and a command ship of some sort. It was pretty sweet to watch, so I watched him for a bit. But I've been talking to him about burners, between him and Lenny and a couple other people I know, and some of his videos. I'm going to start sort of compiling all the information and coming up with some of my own ideas, and maybe trying some of these other Fits, maybe tweaking them to suit me a little better. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you're interested, definitely check out Hateless's videos. I know he's going to update them. Some of them are out of date and don't work. He does mark them when he knows that they stopped working. I think this one, it was the courier done in a wolf, doesn't work anymore, so it's tagged as such. So we do have to watch that, but he's going to update. He said he's going to update his videos at some point, and that's great. But I'm also going to talk to him. We'll get the best information possible and start doing these as well as we can. So awesome. So there's another source there. Keep sending your suggestions. I do like reading them. I do have a request. This guide, Hateless's videos, all the information, anything I do, anything that's out there, all of that is other people's work, other people's opinions, and guaranteed there's no one right way to do it. So as long as you're coming at me with the constructive, here's how I do it, here's the thing I think you should try, that's great. Telling me that I'm, or putting out there that I have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm doing it wrong, and this is the only way to do it, that is false, and I don't respond well to that. The whole thing about EVE is that there's various Fits, and they're a lot of fun, and I love seeing other people's ideas. Approach it constructively, that's all I ask. I don't ever ignore suggestions, even when they're kind of couched as, not that I've had a lot of it, and not any one person, I'm not trying to single anybody out, and again, I also know that a lot of it's communicating via text, and a lot of it can be lost in the text, so I just want people to be aware that approach it as here's my idea, not you're an idiot. I already know I don't know what I'm doing, I'm aware of that. It's the whole point of this series, is so I can learn, and you guys can maybe learn with me, or help other people and me learn. But there are dozens of ways I could even fit just this Garmr. I could change some things up, and it would work just as well. So just be cautious of that, or not cautious, but be considerate of that, and definitely share your Fits. The other thing I've realized is I didn't actually go through any of the Fits, so I'm going to start doing that for this series. I know I went through them in the Blitzing series, but this is a separate series, and you know, people may be coming into this series not having seen the previous one. And it is, 40-something videos, so it's lost in there. So I am going to go through these as we go and as we start using. So like, I'm going to do the Garmr today because we're about to use them. When we fit up the Nurgle and do the first mission there, I'm going to kind of go through that. Same with the Dramiel, or the Daredevil, and so on as we go forward. So that will happen. I've also been considering breaking some of this out and doing standalone sort of side videos where literally just the part of me going through the Fit and running the mission in it really quick without all the middle stuff. Like, I like doing it as a playthrough, but maybe doing also a slightly more tutorial, like once I'm more comfortable with it and I've got it down. So definitely let me know if you'd like to see something like that down in the comments section. What else? If you do have a Fit and ship and instructions and kind of want to see or show me another way to do it, I will definitely listen. Send me the fits, and if I can afford it, we get to a point where I can afford to buy an extra ship for it, I will do that. I probably, for example, if I'm going to do a different fit instead of this Garmr for team agents, I wouldn't count that as an expense because I can already do them in the Garmr. But I would put it out there and try it. So I'm willing to do that. Even more likely, if you want to lend me a ship with fits, and I can try it and hopefully not lose it, I'll give it back. Whatever you want to do that way, that makes it even easier because I don't have to get the ship. So it's up to you. Even then, just throw me the fits. I'll catalog them, and when I do have a chance or I feel like trying something different, I will go through some of those fits and give them a try. Be clear, if it's got special instructions or something specific I have to watch out for, let me know. So like, oh, you have to make sure you're at this range and don't, for example, with this, don't fly straight at them for a second. Make sure you don't turn the Microwarpdrive on until you're going sideways, that sort of stuff. Definitely willing to check out other fits as we go, and I can afford to do so, or you can lend me a ship, and I'll definitely showcase it. And yeah, like I said, always looking for ways to do it. Maybe even comparing speeds, if we match them up, that sort of thing. Definitely want to dive into this and really get to know it. In talking to Hateless, what it looks like, so another update. So in the last video, I talked about the map and how they spawn. And I guess the consensus is that it's anywhere, the burner missions will spawn anywhere within your current constellation +2. So it's anywhere within your constellation and then up to 2 jumps into neighboring constellations, regardless of how far away that line is. So that's interesting. It does kind of change the math a little bit. There's a couple systems when we look at even moving even further in the future, but right now I'm happy where I am. So we're going to do it that way. So thank you for listening to that ramble. Let's get on to the juice. So let's look at this Garmr. This is my Garmr. So far, so good. This fit was given to me by Lenny. It is very similar to the fit in the guide and very similar to the fit that Hateless uses. So that gives me a lot of confidence that this is kind of the right way to go. I've been told there's no real benefit, no need to switching into different ammo, like T2 ammo, so Precision or Fury, switching out the scripts. This is just sort of, overall, a really good way to run them. The time gained switching out the ammo and the added risk of getting in too close probably isn't worth it. Feel free to do it if you want. I'm going to stick with this for now. I might, once we're all done, I might try some other things, but for this ship, this is how it's meant to be flown. That's how I'm going to fly it. That's the instructions that were provided with it. And we'll play with it later when we're feeling a little more brave. Without further ado, the whole purpose of the ship. This Kestrel is as you've seen, if you've seen my previous episodes, a kitey ship, right? So it uses rockets, and it's all about just not getting grabbed by the enemy and getting shot. So it's no tank, all about just not getting hit in the first place, okay? To that end, we don't need to fit resist. You can see our resists and everything are at 0. So this is a ship where it's going to die quick if you get grabbed. Reason the resists are 0, for those who don't know, is we're using Polarized T2 rocket launchers. So what Polarized does is they do extra damage, but they drop all your resist to 0. It's using all of your ship's resources, pumping it into the rockets to do what it needs to do. Okay, so we have 3 of those. We switch out the 4 different ammo types as we need to for the various ships. I'm carrying them all with me, 5,000 of each so far. This looks like it's going to last us quite a while, which is awesome. I do carry the precision scripts because I did play with that in the beginning and later in the other series, but for now we're just going to stick to switching out the rockets. In some cases you have to do different rockets against the Logi and against the actual assault frigate. In some cases you do the same. I do have my, like I said, my notepad, but we're going to double check it as we go out. So we have the Inferno for thermal damage, Mjolnir for EM, Nova for explosive, and Scourge for kinetic. The missile tips show what kind of damage they are, so you can see at a glance without reading. Red is thermal, blue is EM, yellow is explosive, green is kinetic. Simple. It does correspond when you bring up the reload. You can see the icons. Everything's kind of that. It's all very easy. Some intuitive ways just to see what's going on. Anyway, so 3 of those. We do need to be able to shoot. I'm going to go into simulation mode so you can see it. You want to be able to hit out to about 30 kilometers, especially against the Jaguar. You want some room for missiles to travel. That's not the way missiles work. So you want to be able to shoot out to 30 kilometers with the rockets. If you can hit 30 kilometers with these on, good to go. If you have, I don't know, some way that you can get them out to 30 and switch these out for something else, go right ahead. So I right now have a Peripheral compact target painter. It fits in. We have a little bit of power grid. You may be able to T2 this, but you might lose some capacitor. Hard to say. We can play with that in the future, but yeah, this works just fine. 2 times missile guidance computers 2 with missile range script that gets us up to the 30 kilometers. And then just, in this case, an enduring microwarpdrive. That's just for cap. You might be able to get away with a compact one if you just need the fitting room because you don't have the skills. However, if you don't have the skills to fit it, you might want to train some skills because it is a pretty tight fit and you don't want to be missing out on, for example, good navigation skills so you can turn tightly with your microwarpdrive on. In the lows, I have 3 times Caldari Navy ballistics damage controls. You might be able to get away with just like T2 ones or some of the cheaper faction ones, maybe. Really, as long as you can break that first logi, maybe you have to overheat. I don't have to overheat, it seems, but maybe if you can overheat, you may not need to fit the Caldari ones. Probably the most expensive part of this fit. If we look in here, just what the estimate is, yeah, it's like 150 million of the 500 million of the fit. The other major expenses come in the Garmr itself. That's already the 200. And some of this, we'd have to actually go to market to see what it actually says. And I think that's the big bits are these 2 here. So if you want to talk those down, you might be able to get away with it. We'll see. And then for the rigs, small warhead flare catalyst 1. This increases, well, I can show you. As you can see, explosion velocity bonus of 15%. And then the drawback is that it uses more CPUs. So if you don't have good fitting skills, you may not be able to use this rig. You can see my CPU's at 2. If this was any lower, you can also use launcher rig skills to reduce it. So taking it out for that. So we get that. And then the hydraulic bay thrusters gives us maximum velocity bonus to our missiles. That actually increases the range just a little bit. And the drawback again is CPU requirement for launchers. Once again, launching launcher rigs and fitting skills to counter that. And lastly, a rocket fuel partition, which increases our flight time, which also increases the range. Again, we got to hit that 30 at the cost of CPU requirement for launchers. Now, it's nice on the smaller ships because you only have 3 launchers, so you're not taking as big a hit. When you get into bigger ships and you're fitting like 7, that can actually be a fairly big hit, so you got to watch that. Anyways, without further ado, that's the ship fit. Again, we talked about the missiles. We talked about why we're doing it the way we're doing it. Yes, polarized weapons fitting. I know it's scary. We're going to do this. And we are going to set destination. I'm going to hide that just to make more room. I like to have some clean. And we're going to fly out to Atlanins and run this mission. So yeah, pretty excited about this series. And I definitely enjoy reading people's thoughts. For longer form discussions, I do now have my new, as we're flying, I'll show you. My new Pockets DK, www.pocketsdk, right here, pocketsdk.org, website up. Just a basic place for me to kind of hang out, put my links to things. I'm starting to build a resource tab as well, where I'm going to have things like the burner mission guide. I'm going to have links to like, well, Hateless's channel, some other information. I'm also going to be working on a workbench, so all my fits will be stored there. I'll have that here as well. So that's cool. Links to my Discord. It's just so a link to my Discord if you want to come chat to me about anything. Also some information on Mauro and a link to Mauro's Discord, so it's easier to find. This way, when links break, I can update them here and I don't have to worry about having old information in my videos. And yeah, some other places you can find me. But yeah, so there you go. That's going to be like the place to go for everything you need to reach out to me. Hit me up on this Discord if you want to chat about anything. If you want Mauro specific stuff, come chat here and we'll be good to go. So yeah, pretty happy with that as well. And it's going to grow and change as we go, but right now it does exactly what it needs to do. Nice and simple. All right, let's do one more jump. I think we're one more jump. And then we'll have to fly back, 2 more jumps, then we'll have to fly back to Hale to get it. One second, I have to answer this message. All right. So I'm actually really excited. I like the idea of the tutorials. Once I get more comfortable, I'll probably be pretty comfortable to do this Garmr tutorial. You know, like a nice little 5 or 6 minute, just right compact here in the next few days. So if that's something people want to see, let me know, and I'll definitely put that up. It won't be part of the series. I'm going to put it in its own little sort of ship guide series. Might be something to get into for sure. And I just love the Garmr. I really want a skin. I'm going to show you guys. Because, you know, I'm a skin guy. Everybody knows. So I'm working towards getting this one. I may just buy it with the Plex at some point. I don't currently have any Plex. I've used it all for other things. But I definitely want this skin. It's kind of my colors. You know, orange and dark gray or dark blue. Kind of those three colors. So I really like it. That'll be the skin I put on this eventually. It's going to be my ship for all team burner missions for the most part. I don't know why the game is lagging so much today. Wasn't doing that yesterday. But, you know, that's life. What's going on here? No. Stop that. So we're going to warp to the gate. Now, there's supposed to be a way. I've never actually done it. If I go here, see, I can't warp to location at range. But if I initiate the warp and then stop it, does that do anything? Warp to location. No, there was supposed to be a way where I can get it to sort of spawn somewhere. Well, if you guys know, let me know. I'd like to be able to warp to this gate at 10. Because it would make it a lot easier. Then I wouldn't get tied up on the gate all the time. And there's supposed to be a way to do it. We'll figure that out. If you guys know, definitely let me know in the comments. And we'll get that sorted out. See, like right here, we're kind of on the gate. So if I try to go now, I'm just going to sort of get tangled. So I got to fly up first a little bit. There's the contract I've been waiting for. All right. We'll get that sorted out here in a minute. And then once we're up, we can activate the gate. That's a little trick. You got to watch that. So we warp in at 10. We'll land within this ring. This blue ring is now here. That's the distance you need to be from the gate to activate it. They added that in, which is pretty cool. I think that was more for faction warfare, but orbit, please. We're going to kind of just wait a second. And then go. And we're going to lock these guys up. And we're going to check the information quickly. And they're armor tanked, so it is explosive. Yep, did I put Nova missiles in? I did not. And then the annual goes to the end. We do have a second while things settle down anyways, so it doesn't really matter that we didn't have everything running right from the start, because we kind of want things to have a second to chill. And then we can start shooting at this guy. And we will check this guy as well to make sure he is also explosive. Armor, definitely explosive. Wow, he's going to take a beating. And now we're in armor. This is where it matters. And so we'll just watch it. Like, we could overheat here to speed this up if we wanted to, which increases our rate of fire on the rockets. But then we have to repair that. But if we're really looking for, like, ISK per hour, that would be kind of one of the things to do, is overheat a little bit. With good skills, you can overheat probably for the entire Navitas. I think I'll be okay. I think I only have my thermal dynamics up to 3, so it's not amazing. One day I'll train that. It keeps getting bumped for other things that are more important or more interesting. But, you know, I'm at that point now where I'm starting to train stuff that's been left behind. Yeah, so I can overheat through the whole entire first dude, no problem. And we'll turn off the overheating. Now that we're in his structure, it shouldn't be long. All right, and then we take out the second Logi. We'll just do him straight up because he's no longer being repped. You can see how much slower they shoot. Let's hide this. That's a little too... I was playing with some other stuff and I had my tactical grid up. But we don't need that for this. And yeah, works just fine. I don't see any need to make any changes. Again, we could overheat again and finish this one off. We could probably do both of them in one overheat, but... Oh yeah, I wanted to check. Show info quickly before it goes away. Oh, they don't actually show signature radius and stuff in the information. That's cool. Okay. So that we can find. You can find that online if you need it. But as I said, it appears to be applying just peachy, so... One of the tricks I did see in Hateless's video that I'm actually going to start using is instead of control clicking up here and risking that I double click, it's better to hold control and box select your targets. I need to remember that. That's a good point, because all it takes is one misclick and you fly straight towards the Enu at some point and you lose your ship. So that is a thing I picked up on Hateless's video. I'm definitely going to start using that as soon as I remember to use it. But yeah, I love this ship. I love rockets. I always have. There's never, you know, they're very often overshadowed by missiles in PvE especially, but I've always loved rockets. One of my favorite ships, and oops. Let's try that again. One of my favorite ships in the game. When I was first starting out, I really liked it. I thought it was amazing, even though it probably wasn't. Was my rocket Corax. Love that ship. Miss flying it. It's pretty fun. I even still have it here. But yeah, the Corax is one of my favorite ships in the game, just to look at it. Now that I've said it, I got to bring it up while we're flying. This guy right here with rockets was one of my favorite things. I did like level 2 missions with it for quite a while. And I just chased them down with Afterburner, Microwarpdrive, and rockets. Loved it. Love the look of the ship. I do fly a Stork when I get a chance, but I don't get a chance that often now. So, yeah. If you know there's something cool I can do with a Corax, I think it might be like one of the least used destroyers in the entire game, at least of its, you know, T1 destroyers. Because Thrashers are definitely, you know, gank boats, and they used it a lot in PvP. And Catalysts are for ganking. And I guess the non-drone, why can't I think of the name of the Amara one? Courser? May get used a little bit about the same, though I do see it occasionally in like small fleet PvP because it's got a really good armor tank, but I never see the Corax in use. I think it needs a buff so I can use it. Just talking random. Yeah, love the Corax ship. Would love reasons to fly it. I flew that for a long time when I was first starting out. That was part of my chain up to my first Raven. And I flew it with rockets, and I miss it. So this Garmr is kind of scratching that itch. Love it. So what else? We're going to fly and drop off this mission. We can actually update our sheet. Let's do that. Not read details. Start convo. That one, because I don't have as good a standing with the agent, seems to be a little lower than I would like. 1,960,000 plus 2,210,000 and 5 million for the burner. Did I get it all right? I think I did. Nothing for loot. Aw, unfortunate. Okay. Oh, now we're here. We're going to dock this up. We'll see if she'll give us another one. That's a 35-minute video, though, so we did all right. Did all right. About the 30-minute mark once I cut it all down, probably, or in around there. But yeah, I got to discuss the fit and kind of my thoughts. And again, don't ever hesitate to tell me, you know, give me some ideas and say how you do it. Love it. And if you do want me to show, like, try a fit and actually see how it works, let me know and I will I'll fit that in some way. We can work something out for sure. Or if you have a video of you using a fit, link it. Let me know. I'll watch it. Always looking for as much information as I can, because I don't know anything. It was awfully dark. I was just looking at why it was so dark, but it's because we're flying in from the cold. So there's that. Now, cross our fingers. Anomic base we can't do yet. Unfortunately, I don't have the ISK quite yet. How are we doing for standings with this this person? Oh, we're not bad. Over 2. So let's burn off a little bit of that and see if we can get another burner that we can do. Yes, please. Don't want to run that. It's against the Caldari anyway. Hot kettle. No, thank you. See how we're doing. I don't want to burn this too deep here. Rogue drone harassment. Again, we're just looking for Anomic. Probably teams I can do. I'm a little bit afraid to do the Cur with the Nurgle, because that's the one that got me last time, and I think it's because I messed up my cap boosting. You guys will remember I kind of botched it and got behind and couldn't catch up, and it just kind of ground me down to nothing. I'm a little afraid of that. Okay, we're going to stop. One more decline, and then we're going to stop, I think. So this is the problem with doing this. Doing it as part of, like, you know, I could go run this mission and then do burners. Throwing it in and through the chain is probably a good idea overall until, you know, you really know what you're doing. But yeah, that's where we're going to end it. I could fly over to another base. We can go to Mies, 2 jumps away. I may do that. for the next video. We'll see. We're just going to kind of use these 3 as our base. And yeah, as our kind of our triangle of agents for burner missions. But alright guys, that's it for this video. As always, if you like the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. That really helps greatly. Gets my video out there for other people to see. And as always, take care of each other, and we'll see y'all next time. I'm out of here.